So here's a good place to start my video. This is looking out over Flathead Lake. Over there to the left, that's Polson, Montana. I've been to Flathead Lake several times, but never on a motorcycle, honestly, at least not around it anyway. So today I'm going to go ahead and run down to the south side and then around to the east over there. As you can see, the east side of the lake is far less populated. Lots and lots of cherry orchards along the way. Kind of curvy, but I don't think too technical for me. But I'm going to take it easy around the east side, and there's a little cafe about halfway up called the Raven. Sits right down on the water. Hopefully I can get there and find a place to park my bike and go in and have some lunch, and then look around a little bit. I think I'm going to go ahead and leave my camera going. I'm not sure how much battery I have left on this trip. I mentioned earlier that I don't have a lot of experience with my GoPro yet. I'm about 3 weeks in. So just this last week I got one of those media modules. I realized that riding my bike was far too loud and far too noisy to try to record anything, and so I realized that the media module was available, and then I got I think it's called a lavalier microphone that I spent a little bit of time routing into my helmet yesterday before today's trip. So I don't know how it's going to sound or how it's going to go, but we'll give it a try and see what kind of video I can get for today. So I'm going to leave the camera going. Like I said, I don't know how much battery I have left. Hopefully I can get some good video before the end of the day. Certainly I will before I get to the cafe anyway. So we'll give it a try. As I mentioned earlier, one more time, there's my bike. First bike I've had in 20 years. As I mentioned previously, I had a 2001 BMW R 1150 RT. Loved that bike. Previous to that, I've had bikes since I was a teenager, so I'm not unfamiliar with a bike, but I have been off of one for 20 years. And when I decided to get another one, quite honestly, BMW is the first thing that came to my mind, and so I looked around and I found this one local to Missoula, and reasonably priced, low mileage. 33,000 miles for a BMW is not a lot of mileage. I had it serviced up, and I had it checked over real good last spring when I got it. And so far it has been just trouble free. So I hope to be able to ride it for quite some time before I can't say I'll ever hang it up, but before I think about maybe another bike some point down the road. This one should do me for, I would think, for several years. So it's really kind of the furthest thing from my mind right now is, you know, replacing a motorcycle. So we won't do that, but hopefully with this new media mod I'll get a good video. Like I said, I'm gonna be kind of I'm I'm gonna really be kind of crude. Gonna be really crude at these videos for a while. Hopefully I get a little better at it. I bought the bike and I bought the camera because, again, being a little later in life, you know, you look for things to do and look for things that interest you, and of course motorcycles always interested me. And so I put the motorcycle and the camera together, and I thought, well, anything I can do to stay off of the couch at home is a plus. And so what better way to get out than, you know, with a camera and a motorcycle. So here I am. This will be just the outskirts of Polson. I don't think I'll actually go into Polson today. Like I said, I'm kind of on a mission to make it around the east side of the lake, and we'll stop and take a break, have some lunch, like I said, at the Raven Cafe, and I think that'll be a pretty good day for today, for me. You know, I've actually had this bike since last year, but you know, I've kind of taken it slow. I actually, after 20 years off of a motorcycle, I actually took a rider's safety course just prior to, of course, getting a motorcycle endorsement, and I have to say it was by far the best. I think it was put on by the state. I did it right there in Missoula. It was by far some of the best bike training I have ever had. I really enjoyed it, and it kind of acclimated me to sitting on a motorcycle again, and braking and riding and all of those things. So I certainly, like probably everybody else, I mean, I couldn't recommend a safety course enough. I mean, it is absolutely something that you need to do, you know, especially if you're a brand new rider, of course. But you know, like me, after 20 years off a bike, I needed to get my confidence back up a little bit and get to where I could ride safely and be safe and take care of myself. And so again, course was definitely worth it to me. This little mountain range here in front, this is more of the Mission Mountains for this area. I took a previous video segment of kind of the far end of the range, and this is again moving northward, I guess. But Mission Mountains are always beautiful any time of year. I've been up the east side of this lake dozens of times since I've been in Montana. You know, obviously in a vehicle, but I've never taken my motorcycle up this far. So it'll be kind of a new highway for me. I'm not a speedster anyway. I'm pretty compliant when it comes to riding my bike and adhering to speed limits and things like that. But for me, it just makes good practical sense, you know, to ride safely and slowly if that's what I need to do. in order to have a good time and feel good about my ride. So we'll enjoy this side of the lake together. I don't think it's, I mean, it's curvy, but it's not real twisty. It's not, you know, I don't take turns, you know, at a high rate of speed anyway, but I get a twist and turn just enough to be interesting, but not so much that it's, you know, going to be a challenge for me. So this is kind of starting on the east leg of the lake right here. Again, I'm not a fast rider anyway, but it's going to be pretty curvy, and you know, I take the curves appropriately. I'm certainly not a speed demon when it comes to taking the roads. I think the speed limit through here, and I told you I was kind of law-abiding, I think the speed limit through here is actually probably 45-50 miles an hour. I'm not sure. We'll see a sign here shortly, I'm sure. I think most of the curves